Listen, the biggest mistake salespeople make is investing their time and energy into overcoming objections that aren't real. If you're in sales or responsible for training and leading a sales team, you're not gonna wanna miss out on this training. Because it's one thing to know how to overcome objections yourself. You're a pro at it. It's a whole nother thing to know how to teach the people you lead how to overcome objections. Okay, first rule, you never want to invest energy into an objection that isn't real. It's like what I hear my fireman neighbor Brian say, don't water the smoke. Water on smoke doesn't put out a fire. Now the same thing is true with objections. How do you know if an objection is just a smokescreen where they're just trying to get rid of you, or an actual fire that needs to be put out, that needs your attention? This is one of the top skills. This is one of the most valuable skills, one of the most important skills salespeople need to master. Now, what do you do to find out if an objection is real? So let's go to the first key. No doesn't mean no. Translate no to mean I don't know. That's the key initially. Translate all no's, all objections into I don't know. And this is what it looks like when somebody says I'm too busy. Translate I'm too busy to mean I don't know what you're doing and I'm busy. Because here's the reality, most often they're just trying to get rid of you. And they'll say anything to get rid of you. Listen, customers fib and they feel justified because they don't trust you. Don't take this personal. They're just trying to protect themselves. So don't blame your customer for fibbing. All they know is that you're there attempting to steal. You're like a thief, just stealing their time, wanting to steal their energy, steal their money. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. So put yourself in their shoes and don't blame them. As a professional, take responsibility to build trust with them and set them up with the best chance to know what it is that you're doing and how you can help them. So here's what you do the first time an objection comes out of a potential customer's mouth. They say, I'm not interested. Yeah, of course. And keep moving forward. I don't have the money. Oh yeah, for sure. And keep moving forward. I don't have time. Yeah, not a problem. And keep moving forward. Now you don't want to ever ignore a customer, but you must ignore the literal translation, the literal meaning of what they're saying when it's brought up the first time. When an objection comes out, be respectful, be confident, be kind, but don't allow yourself to be fazed by their objection. This is step one, foundational, A101. You want to anticipate that they're gonna have objections. Of course they are. And anticipation is the competitive edge in life and in sales. And anticipate they'll throw out some verbal static trying to throw you off and trying to get rid of you quickly. So when this happens, when it shows up, it rolls off of you like a duck. When a duck puts his head in the water and it comes out of the water, and the water that rolls off a duck's back is just super graceful. The worst thing you can do is start answering an objection that isn't real. Now here's a rule. Don't feed baby monsters. And so these objections are like baby monsters, and they're little, they're baby, and you don't want to feed them. You don't want to give them energy. The last thing you want to do is invest energy into objections that aren't real. And I've seen more salespeople blow up would-be sales by focusing and fixating on objections that are thrown out that just aren't real. So now you've moved past the first time they bring up the objection. And if they bring it up again, which some of them will, a lot of times they won't, because you just, yeah, of course, boom, and you just move forward. It flushes out some of the smoke screen. But if they bring it up again, here's what you do. Step two, you listen. Be silent and listen to what they're saying. This is the most important skill, to really listen and hear another human being out, especially your customer. You're listening. Active listening alone will resolve a ton of objections. And here's the thing, you should listen twice as much as you talk, especially at this point. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Use them in that proportion. And by the way, have you ever noticed that the word listen and the word silent have the exact same letters? When you're listening, let this objection fuel you. Let it be your vitamin. In fact, my mentor Brian Tracy once told me, people who buy object twice as much. So again, just anticipate the no's. Okay, Third, feed it back to them. Feed it back exactly as they said it to you. You've listened and now you feed it back to them, word for word. And once they say yes, as you feed it back and they're like, yeah, you've got it. Move on to this fourth step, question it. Here's what you say. I know you have reasons for saying that. Do you mind if I ask what they are? Then listen. They'll likely tell you everything you need to know to help you help them to close the sale. Now just keep in mind at this point, they're likely gonna throw out all sorts of things at you. Most of them are not real. So your number one job is to get to the truth. Here's a pro tip. You wanna get to the fire truck. Fire truck is key, and let me explain. Now I remember when my son McKay had a friend over and he was playing in the playroom. And this friend, his name was Liam, and he was over and wanted to play with McKay's fire truck that McKay was playing with. And which toy do you think, we had a whole room full of toys, which toy do you think McKay didn't want to give up? You guessed it, that fire truck. So McKay's over here like, here Liam, here's this car set, here's this Tyrannosaurus Rex. And he gave Liam all the other toys, but wasn't letting go of that fire truck. Now, our potential customers do the exact same thing to us, giving us all the objections that aren't real, they're like the ones that they really care about, that they're holding on tight to, their dominant reason to avoiding to buy. Here's this objection. I'm busy. It costs too much. And then like they're drab, the dominant reason for avoiding to buy, they hold on to that fire truck. Your biggest opportunity is to help the customers that you serve be willing to give you that fire truck. Your real job is to get to the truth. Your biggest opportunity is to get their fire truck. Listen, the truth will lead to the right people saying yes and the wrong people saying no. This is how you win with every single potential client you meet with, whether they buy from you or they do not, which oftentimes the buying decision is out of your control anyways. But what's in your control is effectively communicating with them, giving them the best opportunity, the best chance, that shot to say yes to what you're offering them. Okay, if you want to go deeper, please reach out to me in the comments below or go to benward.com to connect with me. I'd love to come work directly with you and your team. Make it a great day.